Let's start both of these. All right, I think it should be working fine. Let me quickly confirm. Let's start both of these. Okay, both are working fine. So for those that still don't know me, my name is Hightech. And on this live stream, series of live streams, we talk crypto, of course. And yeah, let's discuss what has happened. I'll be briefly explaining it through the prism of my 11 years of experience, and in between the lines I will be explaining what I think meme coin is. So Jesus is king, and let's start. Let's play the record button so later I can make shorts out of it. If you guys have any questions, of course, ask me in the live chat. I'm turbo sleepy right now, so I'm not sure how good this live stream is gonna be. Probably not very good. But anyway, as you see, Bitcoin is recovering. It's doing something. Many people say, "Oh, it's a Sunday pump," and they say, "You know what happens on Sunday pump after Sunday pumps, right?" And to be honest, that's not entirely like if we get a pump on Sunday, on Monday we have to dump. Absolutely not. And I even marked a couple of few instances of Sunday. Here was Sunday, as you see what happened later, we pumped, right? Here was Sunday, what happened later, we pumped, right? Here was Sunday, what happened later, we pumped. Here was Sunday, what happened later, we pumped. Here was Sunday, what happened later, we pumped. So it's not like, and this one actually was at the very, no, and here was Sunday. Here was Sunday, what happened later, we pumped. So it all depends on where we at in the trend, right? If we are in an uptrend, and it doesn't matter if it's pumping on Sunday or on Monday or on Friday. Uptrend is an uptrend, and we just overall go higher, right? So that's one to remember about. And yeah, so that is why I'll definitely not neglect the possibility of it being the bottom of this donut trend that has been quite long lasting because it took us 47 days. So yeah, nearly 2 months, over a month and a half. And one good sign is that at least we have taken out daily high from yesterday, so that's like 1 point for our team, 1 point for the pools, and what about the day prior at the 7,500? Oh, okay. So we have taken out two prior highs, two daily highs. So okay, so that's something. And on top of that, right now with Candle's body, we are also making a higher high. So that's good. That's really good. In this very small context, we are defeating the results of prior 2 days. So, like I said, it's not a huge deal, but as you see, every single time in this, since we lost 100K, every single time when we got a green daily, it did not deliver us results like this one. So yeah, there's a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel. Apparently, tiny bit of hopium. And on top of that, we are resting on a level that, structurally speaking, should be a strong level of support. That is why probably you are having this bounce from here. So yeah, now it looks like it can hold. Now it looks like it could be it. Could be over. This it could be over with that downtrend here. What makes perfect sense, because fundamentally speaking, I don't see really a good reason for Bitcoin to be dumping. And on top of that, I watched a material from Meet Kevin, and I was even showing the thumbnail of it. We were even listening to it on my last live stream. Sorry, it's not this one. There is screenshots here. No, sorry. No, sorry, this one we haven't examined. The Bitcoin collapse is about to get worse. So this material on Meet Kevin's channel is one of the largest, let's say, finance YouTubers in the world, over 2 million subscribers. So that's quite something. And he's making a case there that since quite a lot of companies got involved in Bitcoin treasuries, they started to do Bitcoin reserve thing, and Bitcoin is heavily down, so they'll have to report losses. But funny enough, in my eyes, it's actually gives them a high incentive to pump the price up. So at least they settle at a tiny profit, right? Because there is a number of those companies. There is like, Meet Kevin, he was even mentioning some sort of a ranking of those companies. Let me play that material for you, so we can have a little bit more accurate information. First, Meet Kevin. Here we go. Here he is. Let's find that material.
So you're here tomorrow.
Was it live? No, it wasn't live. It was a video. Here it is.
Well, folks, the real test is coming up for Bitcoin, and it has everything to do with the newbie suits who are now in Bitcoin, like this guy. We'll talk about this shyster.
So by the way, this guy here, he is making a very solid case. Let me enable theater mode. He makes a very solid case for an altcoin season, in my opinion. And let's hear him out.
In just a moment, who's talking about potentially paper handing Bitcoin at VanEck. We'll talk about that. But we have to understand there are going to be a lot of implications to actually.
By the way, guys, if you have any questions, of course, ask me in the live chat. As soon as I notice, I will give you my answer.
Public reporting companies, and I have a list of them we're going to go through, because if Bitcoin stays this low or worse, falls even lower, we're going to have some really nasty earnings coming up. And so what I did.
Yeah, and that's why that gives those companies a huge incentive to support the price.
Is I went to Bitcoin Treasury.
Actually, not even support it, just run it higher.
Treasuries.net.
Yeah, Bitcoin Treasuries.net. All right, I actually forgot what was the URL. Bitcoin Treasuries.net. Let me even see that website. How many companies they've got there? Okay, here it is. Top 100 public Bitcoin Treasury companies. I didn't even know there was 100. Interesting. Very interesting. Quite few of them. I thought I definitely would not be able to name more than few, even if I wanted. Okay, let's continue.
And I downloaded the current holdings in Bitcoin of every various company here, like Tesla or GameStop or Strategy.
Yeah, okay, because there is how many they hold. Interesting. So Horizon Kinetics Holding Group, they have 132. That's the lowest. Total of all public companies, that's 1,064,722. Okay, quite an amount to dump if they wanted to dump, but of course they will not dump all at once. That will not happen.
Or Square, now known as Block.
Unless there is some sort of regulations that forces them to.
Or whatever. And I also, I put this all on a spreadsheet. And the reason I did this, first of all, is because when we look at the iBitShares Trust, when iShares got into their Bitcoin ETF, we have not had a drop this severe ever in the history of Bitcoin ETFs. We're down 31%, right? We did have a 17%-ish, 19-ish% decline over here in January to February of 2025, so earlier this year, as we were getting ready to get liberated. But this is the biggest drop yet that a lot of these public reporting companies and ETFs are going to have for Bitcoin. And so they're going to have to explain to their shareholders why all of a sudden their net income is getting smashed. And knowing that, along with doing a fundamental analysis, I know this seems like it's out of left field, on GameStop. Just a couple days ago, we were doing a fundamental analysis on GameStop, and we're like, oh, cool, they had $169 million of net income. That's great. $28 million of that, by the way, of that net income was from Bitcoin gains, right? So we were looking at GameStop's fundamentally in the alpha report, and we're like, hey, Bitcoin actually helped GameStop earnings. I always like to parse that out, and I'm like, yeah, but even if I take that $28 million out, Bitcoin only helped a fraction for GameStop's net income. Their net income was actually doing pretty well here. I mean, you're over $130 million of net income on like collectibles, and earnings are going up at GameStop. Like, this is cool. And they've got over $4 billion of free cash after they pay their bills. I'm not trying to shill it. I don't own any GameStop, but I'll tell you, I was looking at it fundamentally. I'm like, what could go wrong, right? Well, that combined with what I know is going on here with Bybit, the largest drop for a lot of these public entities that they've.
I think it's actually a good thing that temporarily, eventually, it can have a very nice use case for those companies, because they can declare losses on an asset that generally is deflationary sooner or later if they hold it. We'll give them back that money, and they can declare losses, meaning that will have tax deduction. So I'm not really sure if it is such a bad thing, but okay, let's continue to listen.
Ever experienced holding Bitcoin, I realized, oh my gosh, these companies are going to have to report Bitcoin losses as losses on their Q4 financial statement.
Yeah, and potentially there will be a little bit of a reputational damage there, but pretty much it. Not really anything more.
If they end up going, if Bitcoin doesn't recover. Now, all of this could be a non-issue if Bitcoin recovers. And so I put this spreadsheet together to see what the kind of risks are, which we'll go through that in just a moment. But I want you to see where the rules of this are. So this is a KPMG PDF. It basically explains how to account for crypto on your financial statements to be compliant with SEC rules and GAAP accounting requirements. So basically what they say is, if the carrying amount of an intangible asset exceeds its fair value, the entity shall recognize an impairment loss in an amount equal to that excess. Okay, so in English, if you bought Bitcoin for $100,000 and now it's worth $85,000, you're going to have to show a $15,000 loss. Okay, so we have to basically mark to market our Bitcoin. This is going to create a little bit of a problem for a lot of companies. Holidays are expensive enough. Gifts, travel, everything adds up. Yet, big phone carriers are still ripping us off. These completely
advertisement
and require you nobody finished no. You cloud is a very what kind of got me thinking about all this. I put GameStop in here and I go, okay, cool. They had net income of $169 million, but wait, I have to take out the Bitcoin income that they previously had. So if I take that out, they have $141 million of income outside of Bitcoin gains. All right. Well, their loss since the last quarter ended, September 30th, is equal to about $28,000 per coin. Great. What does that work out to if they own 4,700 Bitcoin? Well, it works out to $131 million, which means 94% of GameStop's net income for the fourth quarter, assuming income stays roughly stable, has been evaporated because of Bitcoin losses.
Yeah, but that's impermanent loss. So it's like I said, the only damage it can cause is a little bit of reputation damage, let's say, for Bitcoin companies, let's say, or companies that went with Bitcoin reserve narrative. Well, probably those that already got into it, they have very good awareness that it is indeed an impermanent loss, and at some point it will recover. I mean, the next 5 years give it sky high probability to recover. So those companies, they're highly likely not resign from doing what they do, especially that, let's say MicroStrategy already demonstrated very well that if you are persistent enough, you make it through the bear market, it pays, and accumulate throughout the bear market, it pays off really, really big. Yeah, maybe some shareholders will complain, for a month or two, or maybe 3, or maybe 4, and it will not escalate any further.
Now, hodlers know this. They're not going to care about this. But a lot of people might not understand why all of a sudden net income at a lot of these companies is going to plummet. Look, I did Square.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said.
As well. Square, they're going to see 53% of their net income evaporate. Tesla could see 23% of their net income decline and disappear just because of the Bitcoin impairment. Now, of course, people are expected to add that back in, but again, are the suits smart enough to put 2 and 2 together? And this is where I get nervous that maybe they're not.
Some of them.
And then they start paper handing. Why? Well, because of this little Van Eck guy you'll see in just a moment here. Coinbase, 94% of their net income is at stake. For Bullish, which just went public and is absolutely getting reamed, they had net income of 18 million from honestly, part of that is probably because of Bitcoin gains in the last quarter. So they're basically losing money. But they're just from holding Bitcoin, 24,000 Bitcoin, they're about to lose $680 million, which is, 3,688% of their net income. MicroStrategy showed net income of $2.7 billion. Well, they're about to show a loss of $18 billion. Again, if Bitcoin stays under 85,000, it's at 84,000 right now. So best case scenario, this just recovers, right? And this doesn't end up becoming a larger issue. But all of these companies, a lot of them, they're part of indices. Like Tesla's a Mag 7, right? So Tesla sells off. Coinbase, which is obviously part of our indices, is
Mag 7 means Magnificent 7, 7 biggest companies in the world. All of them, of course, are based in the United States. That's, all the, Google's, Microsoft's, Amazon's.
Well, GameStop to some extent, whatever. Like all these companies, these are going to have a weight on our indices as well. Block. But anyway, let's listen to this guy and listen to him sort of panic about what I think is mostly nonsense. And these are the kind of people that potentially are going to make allocation decisions and then start dumping Bitcoin because they got egg on their face because you had a volatile quarter. Like Bitcoin is almost designed to be volatile. I don't think they get that. So welcome to volatility. But anyway, here we go.
There's something else going on within the Bitcoin community that kind of non-crypto people need to know about. And that is ultimately, Van Eck has been around before Bitcoin. We will walk away from Bitcoin if we think the thesis is fundamentally broken. We don't.
First of all, nothing in this quarter has fundamentally changed the thesis of Bitcoin, okay? The point of Bitcoin is that there are no earnings and that it is a way to diversify into a limited supply digital asset with no borders, okay? It's not really designed. Can it function as a payment system? Sure. But I see it more as a digital store value. Now, I don't own any Bitcoin because right now, and this is not to be anti-Bitcoin, it's just to say I'm anti this financial engineering that's happening that I think is propping up artificially the value of Bitcoin. Like, I think a lot of these suits need to get flushed out. Frankly, I think Michael Saylor and his financial engineering props up the value of Bitcoin artificially. Like, I actually think the premise of Bitcoin, when you read the Bitcoin white paper, like, this is brilliant. But again, I don't own any because I think these very paper handers who are...
What do we mean artificially? If, the legacy financial system is doing so bad that Bitcoin is alternative, become a valid, has become a valid alternative. How is that artificial? I don't really understand. I mean, this is what the free market capitalism is going with. So yeah, it may cause likely is causing a speculative bubble. And maybe the speculative bubble, maybe it's just the start of the speculative bubble. But yeah, that's in this environment, in this global setup. I think it had to happen sooner or later anyway.
In it for the wrong reasons need to get flushed out. Like, I actually think it would be a wonderful thing to see these people get flushed out, because the reason I think a lot of them got into Bitcoin is for the wrong reasons. And you'll see here in this interview, this person,
Well, which are the wrong reasons? I mean, the wrong reason, the right reason is to maintain your purchasing power, right? So that's literally number one reason why those treasury companies do that. So how is that a wrong reason?
first of all, oh well,
I think Kevin just he's closing himself in a box here.
people are worried that blockchain is public. Bro, no flying SH9T. Where have you been? Do you not understand blockchain at all? Like, yes, you can also tornado cash your Bitcoin, or use the other forms of tornado cash. That's more of the colloquial, now known version of it, until tornado cash kind of got replaced. But anyway, like, you should know that there are ways to make your transactions private by washing them through other wallets. This is old news. But the fact that this guy is saying, hey, we've been around longer than Bitcoin.
It's actually fairly difficult to really, let's say, watch your transactions on Bitcoin. You can try to obfuscate it, but still will be possible to find you if you really have done something wrong, something bad. But yeah, there are ways of making it a little bit, more unclear how much Bitcoin you own. So I guess he's making the point.
Bitcoin. And if we just, if the fundamental thesis is gone, we'll just walk away from Bitcoin. To me, it says these people are in it for the wrong reason. You know why they're actually in it? Because when it's going up, all their clients are calling going, hey, why don't you own more Bitcoin? I guess we got to get exposed to Bitcoin. And they basically go in because it's going up, driving it to go up more. And then when it starts going down and it has to show up on Gap Financials, they're like, oh my gosh, this sucks. Well, maybe the thesis has changed. Well, we'll just sell it. Yeah, like, this is the test that's coming up for Bitcoin, is these morons have to get out
right now. But you always have to look at the underlying technology. And the Bitcoin community has been asking itself about, is there enough encryption in Bitcoin? Because quantum computing is coming.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but those are valid concerns that Bitcoin community is really talking about, is trying to address it, is trying to propose solutions. And yeah, those are legitimate fears.
Quantum computing is decades away.
We don't really know that because of AI involvement. AI speeds up things like by a factor of 100 or even more if used by a proper let's say people, proper teams. So we cannot really tell for sure. It's very difficult to tell how much time Bitcoin has left before real quantum computing comes. We can estimate it's around 5 years, but very well it could be much faster than that.
Stealing quantum computing just because quantum computing stocks are going up ain't gonna do anything for quantum, for crypto encryption. Frankly, I think that Bitcoin will just adapt to new encryption.
It should adapt. There is a thin chance it won't make it in time because it's a very big, how would you say it, network of people, and there's many circles of power there, many circles of interest that want to maintain status quo, and that could be that underminer of Bitcoin as a whole. But I don't think, to be honest, I don't think the odds are for Bitcoin not making it in time. I think rather on the opposite end. I think there's a greater chance that things will adjust on time or in time before the worst happens.
standards as we actually get closer in decades to, real quantum computing, not this annealing garbage. But this has been a risk since before you bought, you dummy.
And then secondly, is there enough privacy in Bitcoin? And so a lot of Bitcoin OGs or maxis have been looking at Zcash.
Yeah, so that's a very important thing that he just said. He literally named a coin that is placed at the far, far, far place in CoinMarketCap, measured by market capitalization, even by community. Like not many people really have heard about Zcash ever. I mean, me, I'm in this space since 2015, so I've been here when Zcash popped out for the first time, and privacy coins came into life. Among them, of course, Zcash. Zcash, by the way, is not really that private. Monero does that job like 100 times better than Zcash. But it just had a halving. It just had a lot of let's say endorsement from the side of very, very big X accounts. So naturally, it had to pump. It's probably engineered pump. Probably once the hype is over, it's going to tank like minus 70, minus 80%, as all of altcoins do. But what is turbo important here is that he actually mentioned in a very serious conversation an altcoin that is way down in the ranks, right? So that's why it makes me think that this is actually a signal from Wall Street guys that we will be witnessing a focus shift into altcoins sometime soon, probably starting next month, because QT ends 1st of December. I think I've been talking about for long days already. So I guess first week of December will tell us what's about to happen. First quarter 2026. If December is bullish, then I think you should bet on first quarter of 2026 to really deliver.
And Zcash,
What's that?
Zcash is a token. It's sort of related to Bitcoin with a...
I can't even keep listening to this guy because he's just such a freaking moron. But I think the point that you have...
I think he knows perfectly well what he is doing and what he talks about there. I think Kevin, he just underestimates how clever those guys are.
Have to consider here, and even Chris Whalen is talking about it, which I think he's right about this. I thought about this while I was looking at GameStop fundamentals, but other suits are starting to talk about this as well. Just listen to this.
Year-end is going to be very interesting because a lot of public companies that had put their toe in the water on these various crypto tokens are going to want to get out, because otherwise they're going to have to report some big losses. They may have to report the losses anyway. It's not good when you have something move 30% in a month.
Yeah, but it's only about the reputation. Let's say to those that don't really know how it works, and it's very easy. Using as example MicroStrategy is very easy. To talk to shareholders and give them a reasonable explanation. And on the other end, it allows the company to make tax deduction based on that losses. So it's not really that negative.
Yeah.
Right. It's basically, in English, like these suits that were previously bragging about how great Bitcoin is are now looking for dumbass reasons to sell it. That's what's happening here. Van, like,
I don't think it's a dumbass reason, looking for a dumbass reason to sell it. Is looking for a focus shift. They're looking for a good point to make that focus shift from Bitcoin to altcoins. Apparently, because I'm telling you, otherwise that guy he would have never mentioned about something like Zcash, like a very, very niche altcoin.
I guess Zcash is more popular now, and I guess Bitcoin has encryption risk. Like, This has been argued for years. The only reason you don't know about that is because you bought it for the wrong reasons.
I think he knows about it.
You bought it because it was going up, and now it's going down, and now you're looking for all the old reasons to paper him. This is why I don't own Bitcoin, because I think these people pumped it up for the wrong damn reasons. That's like, it's been Ponzi'd up, okay? Fundamentally, to its core, these people need to be gone. All right, sorry for the emotion here, but let's be clear. If Bitcoin doesn't recover, Bitcoin's going to be in for a big test, because these companies are going to have to report some big ol'
I think those companies are already ready for it and have it calculated into what they do. So yeah, but as you see, quite an interesting material, and I think there is a lot of merit to what I just said, how I interpret it. I think it's one of those small signs here and there that are telling us altcoin season is coming. That Wall Street tries to shift the focus of average let's say traditional investor that up until now was interested only in Bitcoin, and now it's tempted to look into other coins that maybe quote unquote solve those issues that Bitcoin has. And yeah, I think as soon as first part of December will tell us which one is it. Am I right or am I wrong? If literally starting from the first week of December we see an aggressive uptick in the altcoin sphere, then apparently I'm right. If not, if it continues to be like this, keeps bleeding, moving slightly up and then twice as much down, then fundamentally it means altcoins have to see, I don't know, -50, -60 decline from where they're at, and then we'll have to to wait until they consolidate somewhere there, find some solid bottom, and probably from there we see some sizable rallies. So I think we are standing in front of a very, very good opportunity to earn decent money. One of the best opportunities, of course, is my meme coin. That is the only project I promote here, and it will stay that way. That's why I'm kind of like an influencer in the package that comes with this meme coin. It's called Hightech, and as you see, it's been performing very well throughout recent days. Because here, how much has it grown? Like 15%, right? Is it 15? If we measure from here, it will be even more. Actually, since last correction, yeah, plus 37%. And since the real capitalization of it is very tiny, because total liquidity is 16K, which actually speaks for its factual capitalization. It has an immense room for growth here. This is my second YouTube channel, a small one. I have one much larger, it's actually approaching 1,100 subscribers. So once this one performs, once this one kicks off a rally, majority of all of my following will pile in here. And given how small it is, it means the sooner you get here, the better, because there is a whole crowd waiting for this thing to perform. So you don't want to get too late. And on top of that, before the year ends, I will deliver one very, very useful smart contract here that will make you want to transact in Hightech. Like whatever transaction you will be making over the internet, you will want to make it in Hightech, because only that smart contract together with Hightech will give you practically 100%, let's say, safety that you will not get scammed, even if you buy something from a complete stranger. So that thing will definitely change the face of the internet and how people interact with each other financially, and that will come before the year end. So I'm telling you, I'm warning you. You will mark my words, because after the fact I'll be reminding you. I told you guys. I told you. I'm not a guy out of nowhere. It's not like I popped out yesterday in the space. I'm here since 2015, and in social media since 2017, and for well over 1 year and a half I've been recording pretty much every single day on my YouTube channel. So, and I'm preparing something monumentally big, really. So yeah, make use of this opportunity or ignore it at your own risk. Okay, guys, allow me to wrap it up right here, because I'll have to make a live stream on my main YouTube channel pretty soon. Oh, somebody's writing here. Okay, this is just some scam. Just some scam website. Ignore. So yeah, subscribe to the channel, guys. I tend to live stream every single day, sometimes twice or even thrice a day. Yesterday I did not live stream because I didn't have time, because I'm working on that smart contract for Hitech. So maybe now I will decrease, the frequency of my live streams on this channel I will limit it to 1 time a day, because otherwise it's difficult for me to navigate, my days and find time to do all of the work. But yeah, I think it's worth to subscribe to the channel. So I highly encourage you to do so. So thank you for your time, and I'll see you sometime soon. Cheers.